Oh, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy here at First Timers coming at you with a new video. Finally, today I'm going to be putting in some work on this Acura TSX. The battery just drains all the time. I think it's something with the Bluetooth, so if I don't drive it after a day or two, I'm always having to jump it. So I've been doing that for a while now, but the last few times it wasn't starting very well, even when I was jumping it. So I figured today we're just going to make a quick video. I'm going to change the starter and the spark plugs in this '07 Acura TSX. Plus it has like 180,000 plus miles on it, so I figured those are good maintenance things to go ahead and do. So here's a quick video on how to switch that up. Now this project had me a little bit intimidated just because this is not as simple as just locating the starter and replacing it. We could actually move a few things to just be able to access the starter and to get that out of there. So plus I have this cold air intake right here. Usually you'd have your resonator and your air intake right there. So probably might as well just remove that whole thing, clean the filter, do all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's a lot of pieces to move out, but I figure there's nothing better than just go ahead and get your hands dirty, start turning some wrenches. First thing is just these two 10mm nuts right there. Just go ahead and unscrew those, and then you can pull this little cover off right there. We're gonna have to remove this manifold so we can get to the starter, but it's gonna be necessary to take kind of this area right here off as well. So we're gonna have to start disconnecting these hoses and things like that. Pull this bad guy out. It's a little sticky, but you just gotta work that out there. Same with this. Pull that clamp, and then you pull this hose off there, and then the sensor. You're just going to hit that, click that little button in, pull that guy out. And then for me, I had this little clamp down here, so just had to loosen that and pry this guy off. And then I have this one little bolt on top of this little vibrating mount for the air intake. But once you get all that disconnected, you can actually pull this part out of the way. Now I've got my little filter down there, so you just got to kind of move it, kind of finesse it out right there, which I can't do properly with one hand. But I figure while I pull that out, I might as well clean that bad boy as well. So I lied, you can't finesse that even with two hands. I'm gonna have to get underneath there and change that later. So it's just gonna sit like that for right now. We just want to pull this manifold off, so we want to just keep disconnecting these things here. So I see a little clamp here. We're gonna pull this hose off. Looks like there's a little pinch right there. Pinch that, pull that out. Looks like there's a little screw, like a little bolt right there that has this little support like frame right here, so then we can pull all this off. That should pull all that away. This hose right here, there's that little clamp. We're going to want to undo that and pull that off. And then it looks like we have these two hoses right here. If we pull those off, we should be able to unscrew these bolts and then pull this manifold off. Moving nicely, got this guy out of there. This guy pulled out. We have this sensor pulled out right here, and to pull this little support piece out, that little frame, you got to get to this nut right there, or that little bolt right there, sorry. And to get to that though, I need a little more space, so I'm going to pull this little reservoir out there, and you just got this little bolt and that little bolt right there. You pull those out, and then you can pull this coolant reservoir straight out. Alright, maybe here's where my mistakes can be something you can avoid right here when you take these hoses out. This is like a coolant hose. So I can see when I pull that out, it just leaked coolant everywhere. I got a couple paper towels down there just so I can start wiping that up. But just beware when you pull those hoses. You do want to pull this little sensor out right there. Just squeeze that, squeeze this top right there, bang, pull that guy out. I went ahead and removed this hose from right here instead of right there, just because it's kind of a pain, and just in case there was more coolant or something like that leaking out, I didn't want to pull it from right there. So yank that guy right there. That guy should be connected. This guy's disconnected now, so this should be able to come out. The last thing that's in there is there's one little hose on this inside right here. I'll get the manifold out. We had these 5 bolts It's actually 3 bolts, 2 nuts. So there's a bolt right there, the 1 nut here, bolt there, nut here, and a bolt down there. They're all 10 millimeters. We should be able to pull, try to yank this guy off now, but be careful if anything else is still connected to this manifold. You'll know. Alright, I lied, because this little piece right here, this little bolt, is connected to this hose right here, and that's still connected. So we're going to unscrew this guy, and I think this little brace, or the support piece that's holding it, should just be able to pull it off after that. Alright, let's start with the positives. Manifold off. That's nice. Starter right there. So at least we're moving our way. We're a little closer. What issue did I have? When I pulled that thing, this guy just started leaking again. It's crazy. I'm sure at some point it would just run out, but in my brilliant MacGyvering state right there, I just kind of clamped it right there, these small vice grips, and then just kind of let it sit, just because if I could at least keep that tip up, it kept from draining out. But as soon as that goes down about an inch the other way, it just starts leaking and leaking. So that'll be one thing, is clean up a bunch of coolant. But like I said, positives. It's got to get to that bad boy now. And these 2 sensors are pretty easy. They just have a little button. You push and you pull. So you push this little knob down, pull that guy out. Same with this guy. He's going to be on the inside. You push him right here, pull him straight out. Now this, though, you pull this little rubber piece back, you got this little nut that you need to pull out. But I don't have a tool without this this little bar right here in the way. So you got this screw right here. You're going to need to unscrew that. Then you should be able to move this so that way you can take that guy out. Well, again, learn from my mistakes. I pulled this bolt out right there just because it's holding this frame. So I thought I could move this water line, or whatever line this is right here. You can move it a little bit, but not really enough to get in here and do anything with that. So I went ahead and just pulled this screw out right there. It's a big 17 millimeter. I'm just going to try to pull this guy. I don't know if you can see that very well, but the guy that's back there, that's a 14 millimeter. That kind of long guy right there. And I should be able to pull the starter out, and then from there maybe I can just go ahead and unscrew that guy once it's out, because I can't, I don't have anything proper to be able to get in through here. Really, you don't even need to unscrew that guy right there. Once you have this back one out, you can just twist the starter a little bit, and then go ahead and screw this guy out, and then you're all set. You can just pull this starter out. You do just need to pull this little brace off right there. This is all connected, got this hose connected. But other than that, you can see the starter is out. We're good to go. Because there's my new starter. I got it from Rock Auto online. It's a pretty good price. But this is the old starter right here. You can see they look a little bit different. But I think it's still going to work. The mount and everything is about the same size. The only thing that's different is where that screw goes on top. Instead, it's got this little second cylinder, and that screw's just going to go onto the side. Alright, we had a couple of days off because I ordered a new starter. There's the old one there. The AC Delco, it fit, but it just kind of was set up a little bit differently. Like this guy, these two are identical, the way they kind of screw in and everything gets connected. The AC Delco had this piece kind of on the side cylinder over here, so when that clamp screwed on, the one there with the little copper ring, it just didn't look right, like it was all kind of bent and everything. So I didn't feel very good about that, so I just went ahead and ordered this starter that looks exactly the same. It was actually a little bit cheaper, this TYC, but I still had that coolant problem. So I tried to squeeze it with those wires and hold it right there, but obviously I spilled a lot of coolant, so we'll have to refill that as we start putting this together. But here we go, we're finally putting this new starter back in and putting this Acura back together. Okay, got the new starter plugged in, the two plugs right there put back together, a little screw on top with the rubber piece back on top. That was nice. And so now we're just going to go ahead and start putting this manifold back on. Make sure we put everything back in the right spots. Alright, so I got the manifold. It's kind of placed in there. It's not actually tightened back in, but I did go ahead and reconnect this coolant line right here, just because you can see all that coolant I spilled down there. So I didn't want that to keep leaking, so I went ahead and connected that. And this other coolant line that goes up right up there, I connected that as well, along with this little sensor right there. And now we're just going to start putting everything back together. So start with these little frames. Well, first I'm going to put these screws back into the manifold, get that back nice and tight. And there you go, we're all set. Got the cold air intake put back on there. So it's really just putting that sensor back in, that hose. Then just go ahead and make sure that connection right there is nice and tight, and tighten that guy up as well. You need to put back this sensor, this hose right here. You're gonna have to get your reservoir screwed back in. So those screws and those screws, make sure you connect this through the tube that's down there as well. And you are all set. That's the starter and the end of this video. Please help us out by hitting like and subscribe. Again, if we get monetized, which we're pretty close to doing, we'll be sure to do some kind of giveaway for you guys out there. Just appreciate you guys watching. And the next video is going to be on changing the spark plugs, because I also got to do that as well. So that video should be coming out soon. Thanks again for watching. Stay safe out there until our next video comes out. See you then. Thanks again.